Welcome back to the Random Sound Mind podcast. I'm your host, JT. This is a continuation of the episode I did yesterday. So, with that, I'd like to pick up where I left off on the questions and why asking questions is not a bad thing and some reasons behind that. If you see the end of yesterday's clip, I went into that. One thing I would say that definitely needs to be said about asking questions, and it's very obvious, this is not something super profound, but asking questions is part of free speech. It's not just speaking out. Part of speaking out is asking questions, is it not? Yes, of course it is. We have a right to speak out and ask questions. And free speech is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's glorious. But it can make you uncomfortable. It can make me uncomfortable. It can make someone else uncomfortable. Asking a legitimate, legal, appropriate question. And people who don't want to hear your question are going against your First Amendment right. Simple as that. So ask away. Ask of people that you respect or people you don't in this whole MAGA civil war. So this is the second part. Show you some video clips of certain personalities, some on either side, more on the Tucker Carlson side today, and some right down the middle. One in particular off Redacted, which you saw an intro clip from yesterday, of our partnership with the nation of Israel and what is true MAGA and what is America first. Okay, this is the first clip. If you recognize the lady with the glasses and black hair, she is from the intro clip from yesterday's podcast, the very intro. She and her husband have a Redacted podcast. It's great. They're more libertarian, as is this guy, Clint Russell. So I found this clip, and this is an interesting point of view to hear. So let's take a listen.
That if you ask these questions and break apart the party, the other side will win. Most of us who are independents, we don't care about these tribal identities. We want something for our kids and for our lifestyle in the United States. What do you say to this? Like, don't you dare, break apart MAGA loyalty.
Yeah, well, if we're going to go down the tribal or identitarian path, my only identity and my only tribe is America. Mm-hmm. So that's my demand. You have to put this country first. And if you don't, I will send you packing. You can go get your job talking crap about Nick Fuentes on CNN or whatever. Enjoy that. But the graft within the halls of power in Congress, you can no longer be there.
Wow, that's pretty intense. You can no longer be there. So he's very serious about America first. And you're going to hear more on if he disagrees with you, doesn't matter what your last name is.
We need MTGs, we need Thomas Massey's, we need people that put this country first. And if Donald Trump wants to try and primary those people, then he can get out too. And if J.D. Vance wants to defend Trump in that process, well, then he can expect a serious primary challenger. Sure, yeah, the Democrats are worse. I'll grant them that. But we're not accepting better than crap at this.
I thought that was funny. We're not accepting better than crap. He's not afraid to name names, but he's not name calling either. Let's continue.
Point.
Right.
You have to actually. We're
not here to be breadcrumbed.
Right. We're looking down the barrel of a $38 trillion national debt gun, and
38 trillion national debt gun. And if you're a fiscal conservative, libertarian, then the waste of money really bothers me tremendously. I think he goes on to say it's like a trillion, 1.2 maybe trillion, just in interest. It starts getting so big that we can't pay everybody else. If we're going broke, why again are we giving money to Israel? Why are we giving it to Nigeria? Why are we giving it to Afghanistan? Anybody. Tim Pool with Tim Cast IRL. Great podcast. Really love his approach and take on different things. He is, I don't know that he would call himself MAGA. He's certainly more conservative than he used to be, but He's definitely a straight shooter. So let's hear what he has to say about all this.
But we got attacked, Tim Cast, I say we, by these conservatives who are like, no one should ever be allowed to have that conversation. And that's I'm just like, y'all are retards. Okay, I'm just so over this. You cannot defend when I debate a leftist who wants child sex changes and be like, yeah, you get him, Tim. And then I'm like, oh, and Nick's going to come on too. And no, don't do that. What? We bring anybody of political prominence or relevance to have these conversations. And they get to, when we debate it. Yeah, but we can see where we're going.
And what's wrong with that? Having someone on that you vehemently disagree with, and maybe you don't like, you still talk through. You still talk it out. And it's a great way to show someone's bad ideas, is it not? We should take that in mind in our own conversations. I certainly do. Should I not talk to this person anymore? Or if there's a chance that I might change their mind, or a chance that I might show other people this is a really foolish idea. And this is the next clip. This is Nick Fuentes speaking, being clipped by the Hodge twins, two black men right there. I listen to them. They have some very funny stuff. They also do interviews. And guess what? They interviewed this Nick Fuentes guy, and they are on his side. And yet Nick Fuentes has been called racist. So these are pretty two astute guys, and they're having a so-called racist on their podcast. I don't think so.
But what is really disturbing about the article is the way that it ends.
The article, by the way, he's referring to is by Josh Hammer. Remember, he's one of the pro-Israel guys that thinks that America should be intertwined with Israel on things foreign policy-wise. So that's what he's talking to. Let's continue.
He closes the usual screed, the usual paranoid, histrionic screed about anti-Semitism with a call for, quote, Tucker Carlson to be neutralized.
That's bad. He's a writer. You got to know better, Josh Hammer. To be neutralized? That's shame on you, man.
To be neutralized. What does that mean exactly? And the significance should not be lost on anybody. We are nearly 2 months after Charlie Kirk was murdered, after he was neutralized. This is a year after Donald Trump was shot in the face and he was almost neutralized.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Yep.
We know exactly what that means. Yeah. All the criticism I've seen is pretty much from the right that this interview happened, which is shocking to me because we're the freedom of speech advocates and proponents. Right.
We're supposed to be. So those clips of canceling people, deplatforming people, that concerns me from our own side in this civil war. Okay, this is Dave Smith, self-avowed libertarian. He has been on all kinds of primetime shows, Fox, others. He's also a comedian, but he's really become huge in the podcast world over the last, 5-6 years. Joe Rogan, friend. He's definitely not in the pro-Israel camp, even though he is Jewish.
All of the neocon Zionists are insisting that you didn't see what you saw on that show, that something else happened, that what happened on this podcast was Tucker agreed with all things Nazism or something like that, when in fact, for anybody who did watch the show, what you actually heard was Tucker Carlson tell Nick Fuentes and the world that it is against his religion to hate Jewish people, or any group of people for that matter. And so it's just...
Wow. So I actually watched the full podcast of Tucker and Nick Fuentes. He's right. Dave's right. Said it multiple times. Hate's not in my heart. I don't do that. I don't hate on anybody. I treat individuals, not as a collective, as in a nation state or a certain ethnicity. Comes from his Christian views. So these names thrown at Tucker, or this name calling, is totally inaccurate, and Dave Smith is correct. It's Tucker, I don't think, has hate. He can criticize you, doesn't mean he hates you. Okay, so here's the final clip for today, this episode, wrapping up the MAGA Civil War. Tucker's final words here, his response on what this is really all about, these attacks upon him, I found very interesting, which is why I wanted to share it with you, my audience.
Well, of course, it's not about you or what you said. It's about something bigger. And there are a couple things. I mean, the most obvious on a political level, this is a fight over what happens after Donald Trump. What does the Republican Party look like? Does it actually adopt an America First foreign policy as promised 10 years ago? Or does it maintain its neoconservative posture, which is very unpopular with the public and has borne no fruit? I mean, it's been a disaster on every level for the United States for, since 9/11, at least.
Did you hear that? That's huge. So post Donald Trump's presidency, what will this America and Israel relationship look like? Will it be America first with Trump like it was and telling Bibi, you know what, we're only doing so much, don't push me? Or are we going to go back to the neocons, the Bushes and the Clintons and all that other stuff, where war is just a normal thing? Let's continue, shall we?
But what happens after Trump goes? And that's what this is about. That's why they're vesting the energy in this. That's what the rage is about, because they don't want to lose control of foreign policy. I just can't say that enough. It's about foreign policy. They don't care about domestic policy because they don't care about the United States, but they do care about the U.S. Treasury and the Pentagon, the projection of force on behalf of Israel.
Eisenhower said it, right? The president on his way out. Beware the military-industrial complex. So much money in defense spending, contracting, all the things you've probably heard of. No more wars, like Trump is doing, the great peacemaker in chief. Upsets a lot of people. It's worth thinking about anyway. Let's continue.
And so that's what they're arguing about. And again, that's a very unpopular position with the public, which is why they don't say it out loud. My position has always been, I'm not ashamed of my views. I'm happy to talk about my views with anybody. I don't think I have any reason to be ashamed of my views. I think they're actually kind of moderate, honestly. They're different from the way things are operating now, and of course. I mean, I disagree with the direction the U.S. government's taking in a whole bunch of different ways, but I don't think we should burn the U.S. government down. My view, which I know is yours as well, is the U.S. government should act on behalf of American citizens. America first.
Doesn't seem too unreasonable to me. Certainly doesn't to Dave Smith, who's got him on his podcast. I don't know that he or anyone on his side should be ashamed of their beliefs. Why would he even have to say that, except that people are trying to shame him and shame the Bannons and the MTGs and Candace Owens and other people. And Dave Smith, who's right there. So, but I don't think those are the type of people who are going to lie down. And the other side, should they be shamed? No, I don't think so. You've gotten to hear from Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson, who are the two partners in this who started all this hubbub and everybody jumping in and speaking their mind. My concluding thoughts on how I process all this, and this, again, I put it in quotes, MAGA Civil War. First of all, seek the truth over theatrics. Seek the truth over theatrics. What is the truth to your questions, whatever they may be? Not theatrical, name-calling, canceling, that kind of stuff. Seek principles over personalities. Seek principles over personalities, yeah. So your principles, what you value, what you hold dear, what you want for America, over a personality, whether you like them or don't. We can often follow these people because they're our guy, quote unquote. They're on our side, whether it's Tucker or Levin or whoever. But what principles do they espouse that align with me? And the next one, the last one, is curiosity over complacency, if I can say it like that. It's easy to throw our hands up and just say, forget both sides. This is ridiculous. And lose all curiosity. And politicians, of all people in this world, can make us do that. and become complacent versus curious over, you know what, how does this affect my country? How does this affect my community? How does this affect me personally? And I don't want to ever lose that curiosity, even if it's of an issue I find really revolting or extremely difficult. This is a very nuanced issue, this America-Israel relationship. And you mix in the religion, Christian, Judaism, it can be very complicated, very nuanced. So as always, thank you for tuning in very much to this MAGA Civil War. Stay alert, stand firm, show courage, and be sound.